Cliffside, Indonesian Cube, Murder Drones. These are all renowned web series created by Liam Vickers, and as much as I love them, today I want to talk about one of his earliest animations that was supposed to be a series but never gained any traction. Let's Split Up is a 2-minute animatic about two shape-shifting sibling Wendigos named Clyde and Dee arguing over how discreet they need to be when eating humans. Clyde wants Dee to be more careful, while Dee thinks he is being overly cautious. Their bickering is interrupted by a human jock named Disc, and Dee wastes no time in seducing him so she can get alone with him to eat him. Disc enters a cabin together with Dee and Clyde tries to stop them, but Disc won't let him in unless he brings some beer with him. That's it, that's the entire animatic. The concept of a show where the main cast are supernatural creatures trying to blend in with humanity may not exactly be novel, but I can't say that it's boring. But the show's real draw is its main duo. Clyde is a fairly standard nervous wreck, and Dee is a heartless sadist who will do whatever she needs to do in order to get her next meal. It's an entertaining dynamic seeing these two butting heads and bickering, and I would say that's all there is to them and the show itself, except contrary to popular belief, there is a second episode of Let's Split Up. If you go to Liam Vickers' official website, you can find a bunch of unlisted animations that he has done over the years, and sitting among them is Let's Split Up SEQ3. I can only presume the reason why it's unlisted is because unlike the original, this one is not colored and has no voice acting. In SEQ3, Dee and Clyde see a wanted poster for Wendigos and right next to it a flyer for a party Disc is having. Dee once again sees this as an opportunity to get some alone time with Disc to eat him, and right on cue, Disc joins them. Dee asks if she's invited, and Disc says that she is, and then asks Clyde if he wants to come along with them. Clyde is surprised, flustered, and flattered that Disc even knows his name, but also invited him to a party. Disc leaves, and Dee immediately berates Clyde for acting so weird when Disc talked to him, but stops when she notices Clyde being genuinely emotionally touched that he was invited to a party. Dee changes the subject, making the point that people like Disc won't last long and Clyde shouldn't get too attached. Clyde immediately gets defensive, warning Dee not to hurt his new friend, but before their bickering can continue, a girl walks between them and tears down the wanted Wendigo poster and angrily walks away. Clyde chases after her, and the animatic ends with Dee guiltily staring at Disc's flyer. This additional animation did reveal some new character traits for the main duo, making them less two-dimensional. It is implied that Clyde is a social outcast who is severely attention-starved, and Dee might feel empathetic for him. It would have been nice to learn more about the girl we see at the very end of the animation, but with her taking down the Wendigo poster, it's safe to assume that she is another one of them who might have been the series' antagonist. And to my knowledge, that's it. No other official animations for Let's Split Up were made. Liam Vickers did go on to create a Let's Split Up quote-unquote horror synthwave exploration to his SoundCloud, but to this day it's still labeled as a work in progress. According to his FAQ section on his Discord, Let's Split Up was originally supposed to be a fully animated pilot by an unnamed animation studio, but for reasons unknown, the project was scrapped with nothing watchable coming out of it. The very last time we ever see Liam acknowledge this series is in his lo-fi playlist, Stargazing with Murderous Intent, which features a fully colored in Dee sitting alongside Liam's other murder waifus. As a conceptual series, I think Let's Split Up had potential, but unlike Cliffside, I don't think it would have been worth revisiting and finishing for a very specific reason. The main draw to Let's Split Up is its leading duo, but these characters have already been done. Clyde and Dee are about as close as you can get to being exactly the same as N and V from Liam Vickers' later series, Murder Drones. Clyde and N are both socially awkward murderous creatures who are super protective in a prey-turned-friend dynamic, and Dee and V are both psychopaths with no issue doing what they were designed for. Even Dee's relationship with Clyde is the same as V's relationship with N, with Dee and V both being dismissive and disrespectful towards Clyde and N, but still secretly caring about them. If Murder Drones was never made, I would still see potential in this series, but unless the main characters are changed, Let's Split Up would feel like it's just replicating the same characters in an overly familiar concept with the entire murderous creatures trying to fit into society that they are meant to destroy. I still enjoy Let's Split Up for what it is, but it just feels too similar to Murder Drones for it to not feel repetitious. Disc enters a cabin together with Deed and Disc enters a